Church Under the Milky Way, an all-time Australian classic song. It is, of course, played on a 12-string guitar, but we're going to do it on a 6-string guitar today. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to make it sound a little bit more like the 12-string version and more like the actual band version with some included bass notes here that just help the voicings along and make it sound a little bit more like the real thing when you're just playing it on one guitar. So, download your chart, put a capo on the 5th fret. The original version with the 12-string has that as well. He just uses very simple chords like an E minor, E minor 7, a C major 7 over G, which is, there's your C major 7 there. We're putting a G bass note on the bottom, and a D, popping onto a D sus4, back to a D. There are your verses. What we can do here is, as well as that E minor 7, I can hear this extra note here, this A note, or the second note of a G string. With a capo, of course, it's not an A, but you add those two strings there, 2nd fret G string and 3rd fret B string. Do 3 up strums. I'm going to show you the strumming pattern in a moment, and then lift it off with another up strum. Then we move to our next chord, which is our C major 7 over G, D. So almost exactly the same, but we're adding this note here on the G string and lifting it off again. The strumming pattern. What I want you to do, like with all strumming patterns, you need to have this hand moving constantly, and if it does, it's always heading in the right direction past the strings, up or down on the right beat. So what we're doing is spelling out this kind of tempo, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... Okay, so that's 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Our strumming pattern wants to be da 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 da. Right? If you can hear that while you're doing that with your hand, you can figure out when to miss the strings, and that's all it is. It's missing the strings on the beats that you don't want to hear a strum. So if you're going da 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 da, right? So it's down 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 up down. But if you turn the sound off, my hand would be doing this, right? Still spelling out, even when you're not hitting the strings, you're going past the strings. So down 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 up down up 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 down up down 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 up down up 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 down up. So when you see those 3 strums in the middle where you've got that extra note or those extra 2 notes on your chart, I've mapped out this strumming pattern on the 2nd line. Those 3 strums are up strums, and the one that comes after that is an up strum as well, but then you're moving into the semiquavers, up, down, up. So down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, up. And you can do that strumming pattern throughout the song. To listen to the second verse, the first verse is pretty straightforward, and the second verse is when the bass comes in. Now the bass on that E minor 7 or whatever it is, that second chord, you hear the bass play a C sharp, or at least a C sharp, you know, ignoring the capo, but that 4th fret A string. To get that sound into your solo guitar playing, you end up playing this kind of chord. So you go, and start with these 2 fingers because I think it's easier. You want to start with those fingers. That's what I normally play an E minor chord with. But if you start with these 2, I think it makes it easier to transition to these next chords. So what you're doing is you're flattening out that first finger on the middle 2 strings. You're putting your 3rd finger on the C sharp on the 4th fret A string, and your 2nd finger goes on the 3rd fret B string. Now you stand them up so you can still hear these open E strings on the top and bottom. So it's a 6-string chord, 6-note chord, and you get that. And I don't know what that's called either, but I think it's something like an E sus 13, but again, I'll put the name on the screen once I figure it out. That's the chord that you can use to cover that bass note as well. So you go. Back to the C major 7 over G and the D. Sometimes when this place gets kind of lonely, empty. Sometimes the breath fades first verse here, but it's actually the second verse where that bass note comes in. So play it, don't play it, add it, don't add it, put it in the first verse, put it in the second verse, put them in all, none, doesn't really matter, up to you. That's how I would kind of make this chord progression, which is beautiful and simple, sound interesting and colourful all the way through, instead of just going, of course you can just go E minor, C and D. You can get away with it. It's not going to sound anywhere near as nice as using those other chords. Then we move to the chorus, and the chorus is dead easy. At the end of the verse, you're on a D, you stay there. Wish I knew what you were looking for. I might have known what you would find. First chorus is a half chorus. Other ones are double that, what I just played. Then the only other thing you really need to know is the break in the middle, which again is dead easy. It's G, D, E minor. That is the song. That's the entire song. It's such a cracker of a song. Love it to bits. Every Australian knows this song. Hopefully viewers overseas will actually know this as well and get into it. It's a great song. Interesting chords there. Hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.